Hey guys, Bottom25 here, watching launch of CRS-21, which is the first flight of SpaceX's Cargo Dragon 2.
Starting to form around Falcon 9. This is completely normal for us at this stage in the countdown. That is liquid oxygen condensing when it meets the normal ambient layers of soil.
So yeah, this Cargo Dragon 2 is different from the Crew Dragon in that it does not have the Super Draco engines, which, I don't know, makes it look a little weird to me, but oh well. And the trunk only has 2 of the fins instead of 4, because those would only be used for the aborts.
Both stages are beginning to pressurize for launch.
Now, just to start listing off some of the payloads, the biggest payload is in the trunk. It's the Bishop, or the Nanorax airlock module. There's a small airlock that's going to be mounted to Tranquility, which will allow some...
We are reaching the T-30-second mark. All systems...
some more satellites to be deployed.
This is mission CRS-21.
Like some larger satellites than will concurrently be deployed out of the Kibo airlock.
Dragon for this year.
The SpaceX 24 launching this particular booster is a 4th flight, I believe. The first flight of this was the demo 2. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff of CRS-21. Vehicle has cleared the tower. And all future Dragon launches will take place from this pad, 39. And I'm not sure if it's A or B the SpaceX is leasing. I've checked multiple times, I keep forgetting it. 39A, SpaceX leasing 39A. Alright, another experiment that I believe is being carried in the pressurized section. Bioasteroids is an experiment designed to test the infrastructure and tools needed for asteroid, lunar, and Martian rock mining. It will mine basalt from those bodies for exploration when humans eventually land on them.
50 seconds into
I'm a bit confused by this. But I presume
it's is carrying our upgraded Dragon vehicle to low Earth orbit. In a few seconds we'll be passing max Q, which is the moment where the vehicle will experience the highest amount of aerodynamic pressures.
So I just presume that's just some testing, some technologies. And then Hemio Q is a test of the system for white blood cell is a test of the system for...
And we've just passed max Q.
Okay, I have a feeling the person who has this does not have like the best grasp of the English language.
3 events in rapid succession. The first event is MECO, or main engine cutoff. This is where all 9 of the Merlin engines on the Falcon 9 first stage will shut down in preparation for the second event, which is stage separation.
Of course, this stage will attempt to be recovered.
Will separate from one another, and a few seconds after that, we'll have a second engine start 1, where the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will ignite to boost Dragon to low Earth orbit. Again, that is main engine cutoff, stage separation, followed by second engine start on the second stage. Main engine cutoff should happen around the T+2 minute and 31 second mark.
Yeah, so then the brain organoid experiment is a continuation of the first brain organoid experiment. Its goal is to validate the first round of experiments and to continue the research recorded during those first tests. The program studies the early developed human brain, its movement in microgravity, and can help address and create better models of neurodegenerative disorders. Okay, we have MECO. We have stage separation. And we have second stage ignition. Second engine start 1.
And you just saw on screen successful main engine cutoff, stage separation.
You can see grid fins being deployed there.
Second stage. So on screen right now you have 2 different views. On the right hand side is a view of our second stage Merlin vacuum engine. On top of that second stage is our Dragon vehicle. And on the left-hand side is a view from the top of our first stage looking downward.
This is going to be a powered landing.
Continue its descent back towards Earth and attempt landing on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, in a few minutes, while the second stage continues to take our Dragon vehicle to low Earth orbit.
Alright, so Colonel Hart.
If you're just joining us, this is the 21st commercial resupply mission for the International
This is the first CRS-2 mission.
This is also
SpaceX's
SpaceX's
2016, I believe.
This year. And we're flying a cargo configuration of our new Dragon spacecraft.
Alright, so Colonel Hart is a continuation of a previous experiment. This experiment will study the cardiomyocytes. Apologies, I'm not a biologist.
The first stage, in order to make its way back to our drone ship, the first stage executes a series of 2 burns. The first burn is the entry burn, where 3 of the Merlin engines will reignite. This
will slow the vehicle down so it doesn't break it up.
Parts of the Earth's atmosphere. The second and final burn is
the landing burn, which puts it down on the barge.
Burn that brings the vehicle speed down rapidly in order to land on our drone ship. The first of those 2 burns, the stage 1 entry burn, should happen around the T+6.5 minute mark. Until then, we get some really cool views of both the first and second stage. You notice that our grid fins on the first stage have also deployed. Those help to guide the first stage back during descent. You can also see some periodic plumes of gas, that's nitrogen, coming from our attitude control systems. And those help to orient the first stage as it continues to fall back towards Earth. And there it goes.
Right, so kind of human hydrogen direction searcher. There we go.
We're about a minute away from the first of his 2 burns on the first stage.
NASA astronaut Kate Rubins was present for the experimental station a few years ago, and she said that, paraphrased, few things on the station make her gasp, but this is one thing that does. Subsobrains studies the effect of micrometeorites and space chunks and the damage they can cause, as well as the process to repair the tissue called brazing and for worse in zero-gravity environment.
220,000 pounds of thrust in a vacuum. That single engine is what is carrying Dragon to low Earth orbit right now.
Three-dimensional microbial monitoring is a project that aims to construct a three-dimensional map of bacterium metabolites that are present at various locations of the ISS and determine how the spaceflight environment affects the various species identified. And there's obviously other research, but these are the main ones,
slow the stage down.
Like other experiments. Okay, get ready for the entry burn.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there's our entry burn. Again, that's 3 engines slowing the first stage down before it hits that dense part of the Earth's atmosphere.
Trajectory nominal.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Good. Now you can see the vehicle's angling itself.
And we are done with the first of 2 burns on the first
The reason
stage.
for that is because the vehicle actually flies itself, like it glides slightly, using the booster itself as a bit of a wing.
Mark. That second burn should last for about 25 seconds, and as that burn is happening, we should also be having another major event for the second stage, second engine cutoff. We'll see if we can hear that as the landing burn begins.
Hopefully we will get footage all the way down. Guess the first is now flying below the speed of sound.
To recover our first stage, and we are going to be attempting to land on our drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Of course, I still love you.
Second stage and terminal guidance.
Stage 1, landing burn startup.
Good. Hopefully that means we'll soon
And we got audio confirmation here
switch views to the barge.
that the first stage has begun its landing burn. Everything's looking great on the second stage right now.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy.
Okay, good. There's the barge. There's the booster.
Here's a view from our drone ship. Here comes Falcon 9.
Oh, we didn't get one of those wonderful all the way down views, but yeah, no, it looks like the booster has landed successfully.
Stage 1.
And
Very well
Falcon
done.
9 has landed once again. That is
It looked like
the
they were
68th
aboard.
successful first stage recovery. This mission also marks the 100th successful flight of Falcon 9.
Well,
it's also
that
the 36th
Dragon hasn't
time we've
deployed
landed
yet. Don't
successfully
jinx
on our
it.
drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
And it hasn't docked access.
During that landing, we did get
Well, that's
confirmation
the
of second
deployment of the
stage,
Falcon
second
9.
engine cutoff. Also, confirmation of a good orbit. And second stage now has one last major task, commanding separation of Dragon just a few minutes from now. And we should have a video of Dragon separation from the top of the second stage. It should give us a nice view into Dragon's unpressurized cargo trunk area.
Which currently contains the airlock, the Nanomax airlock. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, what are these? Because they almost look like abort paths.
This is an animation to show where each of the stages are currently in this mission.
Are they where there's telemetry? I don't know.
The second stage has turned off.
Because, like, the abort mode does not make sense. This thing cannot abort. And also, there's not that limit of, like, if this thing lands in the middle of the Atlantic. Ah, there's the airlock.
Here's a view of the unpressurized section of Dragon. Now, for a typical CRS mission, after Dragon deploys, we would be waiting for solar array deployment, but as a reminder, this is our new Dragon vehicle, and it has solar panels mounted along the surface of the trunk. You might be able to see it once Dragon separates, but those solar panels are already activated and producing power.
I mean, I am kind of curious whether that, like, what's the likelihood of those panels being damaged during launch?
45
Obviously, it's planned. Like, they have plans
from
for
Dragon
that.
separation.
So, like, obviously, it's in consideration.
Again, we are in a coast phase, even though the engines are
So
not
I'm
on.
just a bit curious about
We are
that.
still coasting at pretty fast pace, 27,000 kilometers per hour.
But yeah, so if anyone could tell me what these lines are, and what this line is, that would be greatly appreciated, because I have no idea what those could be. I don't even think it's an overlay of the track of the ISS. And we're almost to deploy. The inside of this trunk looks different from the one on Crew Dragon.
Expecting Dragon separation just a few seconds from now.
Also, I believe this is the first, like, solely cargo vehicle.
Dragon separation confirmed.
There it goes.
And there is a Dragon separated from the second stage. What a cool view. That is, if you've been following us, looks a lot different than our previous CRS missions. Dragon is carrying approximately 6,400 pounds of cargo to the International Space Station on this mission. A small portion of the cargo represents supplies for the astronauts, things like food and clothing, but most of the cargo represents science going up to the space station. The International Space Station serves as the world's leading laboratory for cutting-edge research and technology development that will enable human and robotic exploration of
Oh, you can see some RCS thrusters firing there.
including the Moon and even Mars. The Dragon vehicle is just beginning its journey. It has about 26 hours before reaching the space station. Next major event is nose cone deploy, and that's where we expose the guidance, navigation, and control sensors and docking mechanisms. We won't be able to see that on camera, but we should be able to get confirmation of it.
That thing will fly almost directly over where I am, but I think it's a bit too right out to be able to.
And we do have confirmation of nose cone deploy, and Dragon is now, there it is, Dragon is now on its way to the space station. Again, over the next 26 hours, Dragon will perform a series of orbital height adjustment maneuvers with its Draco engines until it's within a few kilometers of the International Space Station and begins its autonomous docking process. The Dragon is set to dock at 1:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow and remain at the space station for more than 30 days before returning to Earth with research and return cargo. And there you have it, our 5th and final Dragon flight of 2020. With that, that's going to do it for us here at SpaceX today. We had an on-time liftoff from Kennedy Space Center, successful stage separation. We landed our first stage for the 68th time, and successfully deployed our upgraded Dragon vehicle into orbit. Today's mission also marked the 100th successful flight of Falcon 9. Dragon's arrival and docking to the space station will be streamed live starting tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on NASA TV. Dragon will spend, again, about 5 weeks attached to the space station before returning to Earth with cargo and research. Keep an eye out for mission updates on NASA and SpaceX's social media accounts. We want to give a big thanks to the Range and Federal Aviation Administration for their support today. And of course, finally, thank you to everyone that has joined and tuned in for today's launch. Until next time, have a great rest of your weekend.
That's what I was saying, by the way, just so you can actually get it out, is I believe this is the first exclusively cargo vehicle that can dock with the ISS. Well, it's a US segment of the ISS, obviously there's Progress and the ATV. But this is the first fully autonomous vehicle that can... fully autonomous cargo vehicle that can dock itself to the ISS instead of being grappled. So yeah, I'm Falcon 25. That was CRS-21. Goodbye.